Welcome back everyone. In this new live development video about building an auto battle game, in the previous video we built a little zoom in function, and now we're going to improve our kill feed so that's the 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 player match result entry on the right, which is spawning here. And in order to do this, we're going to open up our in-game, and we're going to hide our fight zone debugger now that we don't need it anymore, at least for now. So this is going to be not collapsed, just hidden. We're going to do this. So if we're hitting play, we have this, and maybe we want the entry of the players to be a little bit less, a little bit smaller. So yeah, we want this. Yeah, that's a button, so we want to write this down here like this. And I think we do want to collapse the name of this to actually player entry in the base. So that's the parent class. We don't care about this. We want the score screen, and in here we're going to crop the player name, I guess. So that's in here. For now we're going to crop the player name. Get player name text. Okay, so it's automatically being updated when we create the entry. We're not setting the name of the player. Set him, set color, set local state. Oh yeah, we're doing this in the player entry, of course. I'm dumb, that's the parent class. So in here, update player name, get nickname. I think we're going to find every place where we're actually cropping the player name, and for now, and we won't be calling this anywhere except in the initial storing function. Crop player nickname. We never want to do this, and we only want to do this in the player state. When we're asking for the nickname, we're gonna crop the player name here, and yeah, our name is gonna be smaller. And we're also going to get rid of the text render on the squares. Text render is gonna be hidden in game. We're gonna close everything but the in-game HUD for now. We're gonna hit play, and we can breathe a bit better now that we have removed a lot of stuff, but we have the unit tooltip still. So I think we're going to move. So where are we going to move stuff? We don't want to get into details of. We're going to move this in the game info box like this, and we're going to move the camera switcher to the bottom right, and the end match displayer at the top left of our screen. And maybe we're going to make it so our camera switcher is not completely, yep, like this, and maybe this box as well. Oh yeah, so we don't want to do it this way. Fight on debugger, we don't care. Camera switcher, we want that 1 and 1, but maybe 20 20, or minus 20 minus 20, minus 60 minus 60, I guess. And same goes for that box, 60 60 minus 16x, like this. So that's too much. 60 is too much. 20 20. So yeah, that's better. And actually, so we have the unit tooltip here. and we move the kill feed at the top. So if we're starting, that's a victory for me. So I don't know if I like the fact that the camera is switching. That's draw. So if we have the list of players here, so we want the kill feed on the kill feed on the right for now. I guess we'll put this in the vertical box. Who's gonna win? They have like the same health and damage apparently, so it's a draw once again. So yeah, I think we want that here. We're just gonna tweak it a bit. So we're fine with this. I just think we don't want, in the camera character, I think we don't want camera lag at all in here. We're just gonna remove this. And we're going to open up our match and match entry. We're going to add an overlay and put this within the size box and put the horizontal box within the overlay like this. And we're gonna add an image at the back of the overlay, which is gonna use all the overlay, and it's gonna be almost, yeah, it's gonna be black, I believe, for now. We'll set that the horizontal box has a padding of 5, maybe 10, and we'll make this a little bit bigger. So I'm not sure. Okay, so that's fine. So we don't want this that big at all. Like this, and I think we want this on the right. And we're saying they're filling. I didn't know that. I never seen that icon before, so I was wondering what it was. So why are them? I think we want them to be in auto, not in fill. Yep, like this. And I think we want an icon in here. And before that, I think we want some padding on the left, like 20, and like 20 on the right here. So this is the player which is gonna hit, so we're gonna add some kind of icon there. So yeah, I think we want the horizontal box to fill, and I think we want the text to be automatic and on the right. Did we say right? Because it doesn't seem to work. And put this in fill, put this all in the middle. A little bit of padding there, like 5. And we're going to open up our Explorer and go to gameicons.net. We want a sword, a blade, something like this, showcasing a win. So what if we grab this and rotate this a bit, and we don't want any background. I think we can send none somewhere, just we don't want any background. Oh, it doesn't work. Well, it has background there. We want 0 here. I don't know why it's not working. We're just gonna reset this real quick. Color. Yeah, when we set that to 0, it doesn't work. And the color doesn't work as well, does it? Yeah, we'll make this and that. It's kinda annoying. I was counting on this to make the icons. So I guess we'll just do something like this for now. It's white transparent foreground. We want this to be black. No, we want this to be white for now. And we'll download this. It's gonna be called T icon match result win. We're gonna have a draw which is going to be a clash of two words. T icon draw match result draw. Oh no, we don't want this to be rotated. Yep, we want it like this. Draw. And we're going to import this in our art folder. Texture base, we want this to be an icon match result, and we want to import that. We're going to open them both up and put them in UI, and UI like this, and in there we're gonna say match result. We're gonna look for this win. This is going to be like this, 60 by 60. Maybe we're going to open that. Oh, we crash. Oh no, we didn't crash. I was afraid we might crash. This is going to be like 70, and this is going to be like 40, like this. And what happens now if we're hitting play? That's a draw. And if we're doing this, oh yeah, we didn't take anything for defeat. We should be. So head over there. So we're gonna grab this skull icon. We're gonna grab skull crack, for instance, and this is gonna be the icon lose, and we're going to import them the same way and make that UI. And in here we're going to say that we're going to have a new function called update match icon, which is going to grab the results, and we're going to grab our image here, image result icon, and we're going to grab that image and set the brush, not set texture brush, something like this, set brush from texture. We don't want to match the size, and we want to select the texture here, and depending on the result we want different stuff. So victory is going to be win. Also we're going to rename them victory, defeat, and draw. Draw defeats victory, like this. So in here we have victory, defeat and draw, and we're also gonna change the color and opacity, and we're going to do the same thing, select on that result. So if this is a draw, it's going to be gray. If this is a victory, it's going to be yellow-ish, or maybe just green. A green like this, and a defeat is going to be red. Yep, we'll see how it goes like this. So what happens then? We're moving on the units, we're going into combat, the unit is victorious, and it doesn't change this because we didn't call that, whereas we should be calling this in here, update match icon, not in the update match entry, in the event graph in here. So we want to be calling this, but I've already seen that. So this is a victory, so this is why it's like this. So I've already seen that we have too much padding here, and I don't like it. So we want to have like 3 padding. We don't care about the padding much, and we want this to be way smaller, like this. And we want to have some kind of bump in the animation. So we're just gonna do this real quick. Add transform, translation. It's gonna spawn for 1 second. We're gonna delete everything, and in here we're gonna say it's actually hidden by default in here, and in 0.5 it's gonna pop, and it's gonna grow from its usual scale to another one. And in here we don't want 0, we want like -100, maybe just -60, or no, we want 0, but we're gonna make a curve. And in here we want, so over here we want the scale to be bigger, and we want to change the curve on that X translation. We're gonna do something like this, and I think we're gonna move this at frame 0.4 and decrease that and increase this one. So yeah, a little bit better. And I think I'm tired of having this being so long. So we'll just get out of the curve editor, we'll just unzoom, yeah, and make that way faster, and zoom back in. 2 seconds, that's way better. We'll do this in two different curves. So we're just gonna duplicate this, make that fade animation. In the fade animation we're going to remove the key of the transform, and if we check this, it will just fade, and we want to remove that key, and we want to move that key at the 1. It's gonna fade in 1 second when we call that animation, so that's fine. And we're going to remove the render opacity on that animation. And we also want to move this in here, and maybe we want to crank that up a bit. Maybe put this here and maybe put this in 1.5 for instance. No, we don't want to move it this way, we want to move it this way. Oh yeah, the curve is nuts. The curve is really ugly. We want to check out the curve here. Yeah, the curve is really ugly. Maybe we want to break the curve a bit to see how it goes. Oh yeah, not at all what we were expecting. So we'll just Control Z twice and we lagged. And check this out. Okay, we didn't lag once more. Get out of the curve editor and we'll just move this a bit in here. And we'll not use 0.5, we'll use 0.2 instead. So we're fine with this. So when this is spawning, it's playing this, it's waiting, then it's gonna wait for another duration. We're gonna promote this into a variable which is gonna be called lifespan. We're gonna make this public, and by default they're gonna last for like 5 seconds. And then we're going to do the same thing we've done here but with the fade animation. We're gonna grab this, put this here, and when the fade animation is over, we're gonna remove this from its parent. So I guess we won. Yep, we did. And I think we just want to do something real quick because it really bugs my mind. So this image background is actually going to be a variable, and we want the color and opacity to be white by default, and we want the tint to be at 0.1 by default. And when the anim spawns, we want the image background so this is the tint that we want, but we can't change the tint. Render opacity, so this is going to be at 1 by default, and we're going to use this render opacity. Where is it? Render opacity by default is going to be minus 0.1, and in there we want this so we want to see this. We want this to last for, yeah, so it's gonna start at 0 and it's gonna go up to 0.1. Yep, like this, and it's gonna fade anyway, I think. Yeah, it's gonna fade properly. Maybe we actually want to fade this. All of it at once, maybe. So we're just gonna delete this, put us here at this. This we want the render opacity, we don't want that. Render opacity, we're going to do the exact same thing, not exactly, from 0 to 1, like this. And last thing we want to do is to also change the color of the background image to this color, just so we better see what's going on there. So that's a victory for us. And I think we want the draw to be yellow. Yep. Why is it spawning at the top? Yeah, I guess we're never removing. Yeah, I wonder why they are spawning at the top. So we want draw to be yellow-ish. Like this, just to see how it goes real quick. So that's a draw. That's a victory. I don't know why. They're moving from here. And next time they're gonna be reversed. This is gonna be up and this is gonna be middle. Nope. Oh yeah, it just depends on the... Yeah, of course. On the unit tooltip. So we just don't want... We don't want the end match displayer to be there. We want it to be outside. On the right, 1.5. Yeah. Like this. So we apparently did an error. Match displayer. That should be right though. Yeah, there's something wrong in here. It should necessarily be, except if this is, yeah, this is not of the proper size, I guess. And match entry size box 500. This is gonna be 500 large. Height override, we don't want any. So yeah, no, this is still not correct. And we don't want any width override. Yeah, that's it. We don't want anything here. This is gonna lead the size. I'm not sure how it can be offset like this. I really don't understand what is going on there. Yeah, maybe we want this to be offset like a bit. And what if we add by hand? We add an end match entry in here. What does it says? If we hit compile and go to our HUD, hit compile, so it doesn't do. So this needs to be, yeah, okay, that was the issue here. It wasn't sized to its content, so we want to get rid of that entry in here. So that's a draw. Maybe we want this a bit like 350 for instance. Oh no. Yeah. Well, 450 was fine, we'll say. And maybe we'll just do something real quick. Slot as vertical box slot, set padding, and we'll add some kind of padding to this. Top 50, bottom 50, like this. Oh no, not 50, not at all. 10. So yeah, we're fine with that. So we're pretty fine with that. Match entry and match displayer. Okay, I guess that this is fine. So we have a web header. So our fade is before our phase switch. Phase feedback, Z order. What if we put this to 10? The fade black is still I'm not sure. I think that's in our camera switcher. We're creating the fade here, and we're adding this to our player screen. That's why it's displayed on top of it. And maybe it will do the trick if when we create our, so in our player controller, when we create our main HUD, we'll actually add this as Z order 1, which put the, yeah, it puts the HUD behind the switch, and it's way better. So I'm not sure why we switched to combat phase. I didn't press anything. Yep. Apparently we managed to break the system. But it went back on track. Okay, so I guess we'll be fine with this. We'll see how this bug triggers and behaves in the future videos. We don't care for now. So it's going to wrap up that video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.